All right, let's go to Darren. He's a Spurs fan. All right, Daz?
Jamie, Jason, awesome show, boys.
Thanks.
As normal. Thank you so much for giving us loads of laughs over the years, boys.
We try.
Just wanted to touch a little bit on. I actually agree with both of you, but also have a little disagree with both of you as well at the same time.
Okay.
In regards to
sound like my missus.
Ange Ange this year, right at the start of the season to probably about halfway, everyone was saying about how much he makes people laugh and et cetera, and now all of a sudden he's under extreme pressure. Yeah, I get what you're saying about being 17th, but the amount of injuries that they've had this season has been unprecedented. I challenge any team to go through what we've gone through this year in regards to injuries. And now, obviously, we've got a great chance to do something special tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
But he's under so much pressure from the media. And I personally think that the media aren't trying to get sense out of him anymore. They're just trying to provoke him, and they're getting a reaction now because he's under so much pressure. But, you know, I personally think Spurs are just above an average team with about 3 or 4 decent players, and I think we probably overachieved for a number of seasons, and now we're getting found out. But I do also believe that he is building something now, and if we get Champions League status, you know, we'll get better players and stuff. So tomorrow night is massive, but when you got Kulusevski, Maddison, Bergvall, like the people that create stuff, it's going to be a tough job, but we'll just see what happens tomorrow night.
Do you genuinely believe that, though? If we win tomorrow, do you think he's building something? I don't know, mate. I don't. I rate his answering in the press. I like. I get it. You got to be media savvy. I understand that. But sometimes there is a time you go, you know, have a bit of character. He's got character, right? The guy's got character. As he said, his future's assured, right? Regardless of football, whatever, he's got a great life. There is times to bite back. I don't know if his future really is as a Spurs manager. I agree with Jace on that one. I don't.
But if you go back to people like Conte that we had before, Mourinho, everyone was calling for their head straight away because of the style of football they played. Now we've got someone that's actually come in and gone, do you know what? We're going to play football the attractive way.
I know, but we're not. I know, but if you watched us, Darren, That's almost a lie. That because we ain't playing good football. We don't play good football.
I meant with everybody back. If we get all the players back,
this is where I have to step in, I'm afraid, because I think that Ange Postecoglou is as culpable as anyone for those injuries. I think the way that they train, I think that there is no. I think there's plenty of managers that need to have a look at themselves. I think Arteta's another one. Arsenal fans phoned us up on the sports bar months before Saka picked up that injury, worried about that. Then they go warm weather training. Havertz picks up the injury. I'm looking at Van der Ven coming back early. Was it? You know, I think you've got to look sometimes at closer to home, and the convenient answer is the one that you've just given. And I think that if you peddle that enough, it becomes the truth. But the truth is, injuries keep happening, and there's you can't just blame bad luck. Yeah, there are injuries. There are, you know, Rodri picked up, you know, the injury. That's bad luck. They happen. I don't know, soft tissue injuries consistently happening, bringing players back early, picking up injuries, the style of play. I don't know. I don't know. Not sure that washes with me, right, you know.
Jace, I just wanted to ask you a question along the lines of what we were just talking about in regards to all the injuries and using that as, not an excuse, but along those lines. We always talk about, in football teams, like setting a culture. I just wanted to get, both of your views really on this. Like, when we had all of those players out and Ange was still playing the same way, I get that you have to tinker around a little bit, but surely he still has to have the same culture of the way he wants to play.
Well, Arsenal did it when Odegaard got injured, did they? They changed. And they're going to finish second in the Premier League. I think you do. I think it's naive to think that you can just carry on playing that way.
For a while. Arteta was there for a while. Like he was trying to get it going.
You have to adapt. You do. And I have seen I've seen Spurs play
Brentford away.
Yeah, Spurs have played in the Europa League. Frankfurt
was the performance in the Premier League where I've gone. And you show you have got, and of course he's got a tactical brain.
Yeah.
But to go to Brentford and go and do what they did, and They come away and they won. I'm pretty sure it's
1-2-0.
Yeah, and it was a tactically. It was a performance playing against the opposition.
Yeah,
but it's not just that. It's the rushing players back when you're desperate for a result. And there was. I don't feel completely that Ange 100% knows how to deal with the Premier League. I think he has a philosophy and it works some of the time, but there are games where it doesn't work. He goes into it blindly, and he's shown that he can adapt. There's not enough, and you know,
that's who we are, mate.
Here we are, mate. You only need to do one more, and he can come out and have the biggest cigar ever. 10:30 tomorrow night. He'll be sitting there with a big fat Cuban. Loving life.
Let's go.
Dad's top man, mate. Thanks for your call. Let's go to William. He's a Man United fan. Right, Will?
Willie?
William?
He was there. I heard him.
He's just dropped off. Okay, let's go GJ. He's a Spurs fan. GJ?
All right, GJ.
How you doing, chaps? You all right?
I'm all right, GJ. How are you?
Yeah, good. I just wanted to say before we get on Ange, congratulations to Crystal Palace. Yeah, so happy for them. Big win. I think that's their first trophy in their history, isn't it?
Yeah.
Major one, yeah.
Yeah. I also think they've got the best fans in the Premier League, personally. They make a really good atmosphere. And I think they also tidied up after themselves in Covent Garden, making a racket on Saturday night. But, yeah, definitely. Very happy for him.
GJ, get on with it, mate. You're waffling. What do you want?
No, GJ changes like the wind, right?
I know he does.
So he called him Ange Postecoglou.
No,
Ange Imposter, no clue. Didn't you?
Right. Yeah, but look, what I was going to say was, you was talking about this clown comment, right? Look, when you're Tottenham manager, Jason, I actually agree with you on this. When you're Spurs manager, right, massive club, and you've got 22 league losses to your name, you deserve to be called a lot worse than a clown.
I'm not a clown.
But he's in the Europa League final.
Yeah, but win tomorrow, and all is temporarily forgotten. Not forgiven, but it's forgotten.
And
yeah, you two battle it out. I mean, I hope you get beat tomorrow night.
No,
so you two have a conversation.
Listen, he's not a clown, GJ, is he? He's not a clown. Like, clown's the wrong word. He's been poor. He's not been a good season in the Premier League. The players as well, by the way, have been terrible. You know, they've been terrible. The players that he's put out there have been no good. So, you know, to come out and say he's a clown if you don't win the Europa League final, I just think it's harsh. Like, it's been a poor manager, and he's probably end up losing his job if he gets beat. All right, but he has got to the Europa League final, by the way.
Yeah, but let's be honest, we haven't played many great teams to get there, and there's been no parachute.
You've still got to get there,
team, them.
You've still got to get there. Frankfurt. I mean, you can't tell me they're not a good team.
No, Frankfurt are decent, right? But what I'm saying is, this year, I thought we had a great chance in Europa because there was no parachuting of Champions League clubs into the Europa League.
Right, we got there.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is he's not being called a clown for getting us to the Europa League final. He's being called a clown for 22 losses to our record, right? But like I said, win tomorrow and all is temporarily forgotten. But I've actually got good feelings about tomorrow because Palace beat Man City, Newcastle beat Liverpool. I think it's the year of the underdog. And Man United...
We're not underdogs.
We are underdogs.
How are we underdogs? We've beaten them 3 times this season. We're not underdogs.
Maybe United can win.
Mate.
So what you on about? We're not underdogs.
Okay. Go on the betting apps and see who's favourites.
I don't care.
Mate, I've got a league table in front of me. You're lower than Man United.
Yeah, by what? A point? We've both been terrible. Well, don't tell me we're the underdogs.
17.
We're right. We're definitely the underdogs. But listen, there are two. They've basically just got 2 players I'm worried about, and that's Bruno and Slabhead from set pieces. If we can nullify that, I think we got a great chance. We're going to do it. We're going to take the Manx down on, mate.
Right.
Do you know, I suck with
have the faith.
Right, GJ. Thanks for your call.
We're doing a watch along tomorrow.
Yeah, I know we are.
Aren't we?
Yes.
On the YouTube channel.
We are. It's going to be a long night for me.
Has anyone got me a Man United shirt yet? I don't think I can wear a Man United shirt, mate.
No?
No.
You've been giving it a big and saying, Man United fan.
No, but the closer it gets, I bottled it.
And then you're not going to put the shirt on?
No, I don't think I can. Mate. But I'll be cheering United on. I might wear a scarf or a rosette. Remember rosettes?
What's a rosette?
I think they used to wear rosettes back in like the 50s and the.
I don't know what a rosette is. Explain
you know
it
what
to
a
me.
rosette is?
No, I don't. Well, explain a rosette to me.
It's something you pin to your chest, and it's normally about.
Oh, is that what? Yeah, I know
big,
you're on about.
And it has two little tails hanging
yeah,
down.
Yeah.
Spurs in the middle, Man United.
Yeah. Is that what they used to wear?
Mate, they used to have, remember the little clapperboards, right? They used to have clapperboards made of wood, right?
Yeah.
They used to make a noise.
Yeah.
Right?
What's the noise? That's not bad, you know.
I don't know. It needs to be hot, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
They're called clapperboards. They have that and rosettes, and they used to wear hats, like big tall hats.
Please
at
do
the
that.
final.
Can you find some?
I'm not wearing a shirt.
Can you find a rosette and a scarf? I'd love that.
If I can find a Man United scarf, I might wear it around my wrist.
Are you going to find a Man United scarf?
Don't know.
Like, there's no way in a million years by this time tomorrow that you're going to rock up, and you've gone out of your way to find a Man United scarf.
You know they sell them down Oxford Street. Some of the runners out, they'll go and get one. A rosette. Come out the rosette. Like the 1940s, 50s.
All right, listen, loads to talk about. Ange Postecoglou, tonight's football. Kevin De Bruyne as well got an unbelievable send-off. Pep Guardiola crying after the game. He's walking around the pitch. Every fan stayed, clapping him off like a legend should get for what he's done for that football club.
Shaming Liverpool, this. Putting Liverpool to shame, this.
They are putting Liverpool to shame, I think, with the way they've treated Trent and the way Kevin De Bruyne is getting his send-off. Trent really does deserve something similar. You can have your say on that, 03 717 22 33
I'm not a clown.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.